Welcome to class. Let's start with the signature move. In an upright seated position, you're gonna bring your wrists in, outer shoulder width apart. And then on the inhale breath, reach your arms up, adding some resistance to get a nice plug-in feeling. Exhale, pull the arms down into cactus arms. Inhale, move up. Keeping the shoulders down. Exhale, engage your core as you complete the movement. Let's continue. So it's the inhale breath, reaching your arms up, getting a nice length into the spine. Exhale. Now, if you're feeling playful, you can add moving your head on the exhale, engage left or right to add some neuromobility into your neck structures. However, you always want to make sure in the signature move that your head remains above the pelvis. So engage your core towards your spine. And then last but not least, we take a static stretch. So move your arms back, expand your chest, hug your core in, hug your belly to the spine, and breathe into the expansion of your chest, as well as here you can move your head from left to right if that feels good. Take one more breath here as you expand into your chest and then release. Wonderful. Yeah, signature move is so beneficial to open the front, engage the back, and get that full benefit of eccentric stretching. Now moving the arms a little further apart and wrapping with the thumbs so I can hold the strap. Inhale, move your arms up, and we're going to mobilize the shoulders. Now that experienced integrity, I really want you to just get a nice range of motions. So on the inhale breath, keeping seating bones heavy, you're reaching the arms up and then move them apart and down. And wherever you feel like, oh, it's tricky there, it's tight, add some resistance, expand the strap more. Well, there will always be a tricky part as you move the arms back and down, where the muscle maybe on one side or both sides tighten. That's where you add the resistance and get some additional eccentric stretching. Again, here you move your head freely left and right if that helps you mobilize your neck and neck structures. And we do a total of 10, so a few more to go. Exhaling. Yes, keeping the front ribs in, that's always a big one. And then we're gonna take position 2. Position 2 is the strap behind you, but this time we wrap it on our neck. So I loop it in and I tuck it in, just like in the thigh wrap. Yeah, so I call this a postural position. This is like the strap now serves as a postural belt, a postural reminder. So what happens is that when you collapse in your posture, you will notice the straps tightening. So let's get on all four and see how that feels. Taking a nice inhale breath, opening, exhale, rounding the spine. Yeah, so as you round, you obviously feel the stretch in the mid-spine. And as you inhale, you really want to feel the tucking in on your shoulders. So there's as little as possible strain through the neck. Tuck your toes, move your hips back and up, Adho Mukha, Tavasana. And here, the same story. You want to plug your shoulders in and broaden your neck in a way where you have as little strain as possible on the strap. If it tucks you off, you're possibly being in a flex round position in your down dog. So yes, be upright, hug the back, hug your shoulder blades together, stepping your feet forward into Uttanasana. Inhale, hands to the hips, bend your knees, hug your sitting bones together and come all the way up to standing. Gonna go through some sand salutation. Inhale, arms up, hands to the hips. Try to keep that strain away from the strap, so it should be nice and loose the whole way. Inhale, Ardha, stepping into plank, Again, realign your posture into what is an upright posture, and then lower down. It's nice to bring that awareness into some flows we often do regularly. Inhale for cobra pose. Tuck the toes. Hug your shoulders back and press back, downward dog. Yeah, very nice. Step forward, Ardha Uttanasana. And exhale, fold. Hands to hips, shoulders back, chest open, all the way to standing. Reach your arms. And hands back to the hip as you exhale. Connect through your feet as you lower down into Uttanasana, plank pose. Again, no strain on the strap. So shoulders are nicely plugged in, chest is wide, lower down, Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale for cobra. And then keep your shoulders lifted, legs engaged as you press back into the down dog. Wonderful. Wrapping up our last one, stepping forward, Ardha Uttanasana, and exhale, fold. Hands to hips, inhale, reach, rise, and this one we're gonna stay halfway. So tabletop position, take your shoulders back, see what's upright in this position in space, and then come all the way up. Reaching the arms. Same here, what's reaching the arms up, keeping your collarbones wide and smiley. And the same thing transitioning down. Instead of collapsing as we come down, keep your shoulders back, your core engaged, and lower down. Wonderful. The body will always strengthen where we position it, especially weight bearing. So we want to strengthen the body in an upright position, not in a collapsed position. And this strap will remind you here to do so. Again, take your time to find the alignment in plank pose, holding plank, and then lower down. Chaturanga Dandasana. Slow. Place your feet for cobra position. Again, the strap should be nice and loose. If your shoulders collapse, it won't be. And you get immediate feedback from the strap. And then getting ready, lifting the shoulders, lifting the side body, the legs to move into the downward dog position. Also here you can feel if you round your spine, you'll strain. And if you resembles an upright position, find that in the downward dog, it will not tighten and stop your blood flow. All right, right leg forward, lunge position. We're gonna go directly into position 2. So the strap, just open it up and loop into your hands. 4 fingers, thumb out. All right, inhale, push the arms forward push, core back. And exhale, keep that belly to spine connection as you open it up. Inhale, breath, puff through the kidneys, move your hips back. Exhale, keep the lower core connection as you open up. It's very easy to make this mostly a lower back movement. Try not to. So inhale, expand the side body, keep the side body long, and then open it up. Beautiful. Once you find the opening, connect from belly to spine and take a side stretch. Beautiful. See if you can find that line of extension from your bottom knee all the way into your upper diaphragm. Yes. Taking your hands to the inside of the front foot, we're going to do some eccentric psoas lengthening. So the strap will help you to stay low, and be reminded to stay low as you extend your back leg. So all we intend to do is keeping the pelvis as low as possible as we actively extend through the back leg. Repeat as you stay low, expand your back knee, extend it. One more time, stay low, keep your spine long, and lengthen. Beautiful. Try to find a maximum length. Last one. Stay low, or lower as you find the full length through your spine and back leg into your groins. And then we switch through the front to the other side. Beautiful. Starting with the low lunge and front push movement. So pushing the arms forward without lifting the shoulders to your ears. Exhale, collect the belly as you open it up. So we reverse the breath in some ways, where we use the exhale to engage the lower core to maintain a long spine. Inhale, breath, expand. Exhale, collect the belly as you lift your heart. Inhale, full breath. Yes, keeping your low back low. And side stretch. With time, move your pelvis slightly back. It feels like you're tucking your spine. So lengthening the low back to get specifically the opening into your groins, into your psoas connection. Moving the arms down, move your front foot slightly away to make some space in your inner hip if that serves you. And then we go with our 5 psoas extensions. So strap will simply remind you stay low. And exhale, extend the back leg. Imagine you have a nice anchor on your pelvis that weighs you down. And then into that force, you extend your back leg. So you want to feel that extension. Exhale, fully lengthen the knee. Extend it with your weight staying low. Super efficient for your hip flexor structures. Move to the other side and step back. Downward dog. From the down dog in the all four position, you want to wrap your elbows one more time around the strap to make sure that when you're in your down dog, it doesn't slide over your head. And if you don't wrap it around your elbows, it may do that. Side plank, left hand, outer edges, lift your right arm up and find the zero position. Find the shoulder stack, find the hip stack. Switch sides, keeping your arm bones back, your shoulder blades back, and the length through your entire body. Such a good way of weight bearing and strengthening the body. And moving back to downward facing dog. Coming to the knees, take your hands together for Anjali Mudra. We're going to move into the side. So right foot to the side, turn your toes to the front, and take what's kind of a Parsva Konasana variation. First, forearm on the thigh, make some space in the inner knees, then bring your fingers down. Hug your belly to the side and stretch your top arm over for Parsva Konasana variation. That back knee is down. And from here we're going into the side activation. So exactly, extend the bent knee and extend your upper body to the opposite side. It's like a side wheel motion. Inhaling, reaching the arms overhead. Keeping the front ribs in, and then from your core extending. Now inhale, you want to find full length. Your toes can come up, and then see if the exhale first initiates that connection of your core. So it's really a slow-mo lifting off the floor, coming into that side meal-like motion. And I'm playing here with the front foot right now, but basically when I come up, it's the side muscles, but also the hooking of the heel that gets me up. Bending the front knee now, Parsva Konasana, and back to center. Bring your hands together as you, from your core, move your knee back. Pause. Continuing with the second leg, extend your left leg to the left, point your toes forward, and get some time to move into your Parsvakonasana variation, moving your hips back, moving those hands to the inner thigh, and then taking a side stretch, collecting the front ribs, the length of the low back. Coming back to center, we're moving into this windmilling. So to the right, extend your top arm over. You can always gaze down. And back to your left side. Now you can't fully see in the video the leg here, but it's gonna be extended as you side stretch to your right, and it's gonna be bent as you side stretch to your left. Continuing the windmilling, inhale, take a long stretch, exhale, collect the body, and from your core, switch sides. So ideally, you want to really feel the anchoring through your legs, but that action of movement coming from your side waist. Heading back to center, activate your leg back onto both knees. For a moment, flex your spine, tilt your pelvis back, and then we move into the Side Ustrasana. Placing the fingers on the inside of the heels, side stretch, and then switch sides. So every time inhale, lengthening, you come forward and around, lower the hips, and move the fingers to the inside of the heels that you resist with your entire leg. Giving it a few more dynamic, light feeling motions to come back to center. Pause again. And as you pause in Anjali Mudra with the thumbs touching your forehead center, see if you can find that length through your back body from the strap down through the sacrum all the way into the back of the knees. Continuing on all four, we're gonna lower all the way to the belly and now find some twisting action. Take your hands to the side and right foot goes behind you. Good. Now it's very crucial that the bottom hand resists, so push that one into the floor to keep the upper arm bone back. So dynamically move, stretch right leg back behind you, breathe through the front of your chest, and then switch sides again. Using the floor as a resistant here to find expansion and mobility through your mid-back. Continue one more time on your right. Also right foot back. Perhaps you take a moment extra to find that length till your breath catches up, and then we move back to center. Hands underneath the elbows, hug your shoulders up, tuck your toes, and move into the upside down V position. Walking all the way back, we're gonna now loop into what's called position 4. So base of the toes wrap into the last loop and you step your left leg forward. It's very important that the strap goes behind and that you kind of anchor it with your big toe and pinky toe. Now if you pull it up a little, it will get tighter, or you step in one extra loop. Parsvakonasana on your left. Adjust whatever needs to be adjusted. Left fingertips, inhale, reach your top arm up. We already did the modified version, now you're doing the full version. From Parsvakonasana, extended side angle pose, we transition to Warrior 2. Loop the back arm around for a wrap and then reverse Warrior. Keep lengthening through all four as you transition back into Trikonasana. Now keep the looped arm behind you and find that length through your side body. Bend your front knee directly into reverse warrior again. And you want to make sure you don't shorten your side body too much by looping the back arm in. Yeah, keep that chest, keep that collarbone nice and wide. And then back to Trikonasana, lifting the inner front knee. So this is a nice prep we're going to do for a bind position. Lean forward, move your bottom arm behind you and hold your clothes or your fingers or interlace fully. Now to go into Trikonasana, move your hips back first and then very slowly extend your front leg as you lean back in your upper body. There's a lot of activity happening and the strap is just reminding us to use the legs to lift the arches of the feet and then lean back. Beautiful. You can always gaze down, move out, leaning forward, both feet parallel and hands to the front. You can take a little dynamic stretching here in a split position or move it right into ninja lunge. If your knee says yes to that, moving the thighs back and then switching side. Parsvakonasana on your right. Fingertips on the inside of the foot. Exactly, if you want to lift the strap, it will get tighter. You can, of course, also change the loop. Top arm overhead. Warrior 2 position. Back arm wraps around. Maybe even holds the thigh. Reverse warrior on your right. And then we transition into Trikonasana. Oh, not on that side. I added Parsvakonasana on this side. That's interesting. Yes. Reverse warrior. In fact, you can check out what feels better on the first or second round and then move into Trikonasana. Top arm back. Preparing for the interlace. Hug your top arm back, expand through the chest and the length of your spine all the way through the back of your foot. Getting ready to bend your front knee, lean forward, bring your front arm underneath and find the interlace. And then you move back. It's like you lean back. Of course, you could also use the strap if you don't need it for the foot support. You could use it also to interlace your hands. Extend your front knee once you lean back, finding Trikonasana. Leaning back as your hands, as your right cheek is hugging underneath. Finding that extension through the back leg. And then slowly, slowly moving out of the position. In any case, you want to keep a long spine and switch to center. Ninja lunge. Whatever move feels balancing at the center. Perhaps you need to adjust your strap to the base of your toe. Big toe mount, pinky toe mount. And then on your left side, we're going to go into Ardha Chandrasana. So take a block of whatever support you need underneath your left shoulder. Bend both knees. And then stretch into the bend. Yes, I want you to clearly feel your outer hip and have this muscle engage and support you as you lift the inner knee of your standing knee. So as you bend both, extend, but try not to hyperextend. Beautiful. And then balance. And then loop as an option to take your top shoulder back while you balance. You can throw balance off a little, but you could either keep your top arm straight or behind your back. Let's switch side, take the block with you for the right side. Ardha Chandrasana, half moon pose on your right step. The strap is still in the same position, position 4. Bend both knees and extend the leg. Bend both knees and extend the top foot in elongation to your top hip. Yes, you want to feel that outer hip. And I would say it's equal work for the bottom hip than for the top hip. You can wrap your top arm. So it's basically an internal rotation, but you hook it to the back so you can move your top shoulder back and find your balance. And I promise you the strap will support you finding your balance, because your body knows where to go, where to stretch into, and it will make you more stable. It will help you find integrity. Back to a split, Parsva Konasana. Take your arms forward and we'll transition into, if that's in your usual practice as well, tripod handstand. Otherwise you can stay here or add a twist. If you do tripod handstand, make sure you place a triangle, lift your shoulders and stretch into the strap. So before I go up all the way, I just want to make sure the connection is there. There's very little weight on the head. It's mostly carried by the arms and the power of the legs stretching into the band. The shirt doesn't make it look like the neck is long, but it is. And hands to, feet together all the way. And now you want to come down as controlled as you went up. So first stretch the band slowly and hugging as you lower down. Great. Hands forward, meet your friends, or come out of your twist. Parsarita Padottanasana. If there's any move that feels pleasant and releasing to you, like tilting the pelvis, please do so. You always want to be in communication with your body and not just have a practice placed on top of it, but use the practice as a catalysator to increase that connection. So bringing the feet together, I'm going to loop the strap over the pelvis. And then take it higher up all the way to the bottom ribs, because we're going to do supported Navasana. Sitting down, place the strap, if you need to, hands behind you. Round the spine for a moment, and then have the strap lift you in your mid-spine as you extend the legs and lift the heart. You can also optionally hold the strap or add a variation of one leg extended, one knee bent, and then switch sides. So play around with the heart lift in this Navasana pose before you extend your legs sideways for Upavista Konasana. So it's a sitting split. You want to make sure your strap is just at your pelvic ridge to kind of indicate your pelvis position, and we take a side stretch. Switch sides, again, move from your core, anchor through your legs. If you need support, please add it under your sitting bones so you can take a neutral lower back position. Inhale, lengthening through the sides. Good. Anchor the outer hip deeply into the ground as you extend through that foot and take a nice side stretch. Brilliant. Now you have to really lower it to move forward, and if you go very low, it may flip over your head. So for this position, I'm going to first interlace my hands, lengthen my chest, and then slowly lower. Yeah, potentially you have to kind of sit on the strap if your belly touches the ground. For most of us, though, it will be okay to just find the length and head support for more restorative aspect of finding that full length through the legs, through the spine, and the release of the heart as you just breathe. The strap is there as orientation for your feet to know where to extend into. Now, optionally, if you have very tight leg muscles, you can just bend your knee and add your own resistance. So this will be the modification of the previous one. You bend your knee and you add your elbows on the inside. Should have said that ahead of time, but good thing it's a video. You can always stop. Let's go down on our backs and move the straps to the inside of our knees, nice and low on the pelvis for happy baby variation. Moving your feet left and right, you can hold the strap or hold the feet, or one of my favorite variations is to have the arms over the head. And then as I move to the side, have the bottom leg extend. See if you can find your neutral position in your low back. So moving away from flattening your low back. Or in other words, you want to lower down the pelvis back on the floor. You can also hold the strap, extending the leg. It's a nice inner thigh stretch. Completion of our practice that had a focus on the deep core line. Supine, I'm going to place a block under the feet for Supta, Parakonasana. And you take a moment to push your legs down before you rest. Right hand on the belly, left hand on the heart. And the strap is assisting you for the leg hip abduction. However, again, one strategy, if it's very tight on the inner leg, use the resistance. So hug your knees together against the strap. It's called crack, contract. Then relax, and an antagonistic contraction. So it means you contract the inner thighs against the strap. Then you relax, and then you move the legs outward. And it will nicely trick your muscles to release some more. All right, let's move up. Back to position 2. But on the sides, have a head support. Legs nice and snug, knees in front of the hips. And then we're going to open the heart. This is a fabulous stretch to add thoracic mobility. Hands on top of one another. And then you have a nice assist of your top arm opening up. Your head just kind of rolls along. Or you have the option as well to move the head, hand over the head to kind of, just mobilize more of the shoulder pec structures. You can do as you please. But then as you stay, you want to pull the bottom strap just a little bit to anchor more of the top shoulders, and you can also tighten your twist by bending the top knee, extending the bottom knee, and pause and breathe. Enjoy this miraculous gravitational effect of being stretched open by gravity and some anchoring of the strap. This is one of those movements I would take with me. If I was reduced to 3 movements a day, that will be in there. Thoracic rotation. Switch sides. Inhale, open your right arm. Exhale, close, hands on top of one another. Inhale, hand guides through the front, open it up. And I close it again. Now you can also play with the hand over the head, drawing a half circle, or you keep moving the arm in front of your heart across the entire chest to the other side. Find your twist or twisting variation as the bottom arm is nicely anchored with the help of the strap. Breathe into the resistance of your thoracic. So twists always restrict the breath. And there lies the alchemy of increasing the breath and mobilizing the diaphragm. Coming onto your backs, you're gonna move into the fascia release. Now you can move the strap away, or you can use it as a diaphragm loop if that helps you staying connected with your breath. So you wrap it around the lower ribs, or you put it aside. Now with the balls, we're gonna start moving them in from the top. Have a block nearby, and as I squeeze them in, I lift my seat and place it on the block, high or low, releasing the upper shoulders. Moving the arms overhead, it will give you a very different compression than when you have your arms next to you or in front of your chest. You can play around with that, or also eagle arms is very beautiful to work the pressure of the balls into the shoulder neck structures here, trapezius, descendens, transversus, levator scapulae. Whatever feels tight and stuck, we make it unstuck. Or as I like to say, we're turning sour into sweet. So when you do notice a sour, you're like, pause, you breathe, and only work with the pressure that allows you to make it sweet. If it's too much pressure, simply fold your mat over the balls or a blanket. It should really not be a test of strength at all. It should really feel like a support to release, although there is some discomfort. With the eagle arms, switching sides, if you move your arms from left to right, you will expose very different areas between shoulder blade and spine, and you can release accordingly. It's usually a position, like an area in the body. It's so hard to access on your own. Now let's roll the upper back. So lifting the pelvis, supporting the head. Again, if it's too strong, please fold your mat over the balls and you can still roll. Or besides rolling, you stay and breathe and release, moving the chest from right to left. Just do what's good for you. And it's called fascia release for that reason, because there should be a release result. There should be a sour to sweet transformation. We're adding the low back as well, the lumbar fascia. So very important here, flex your spine, lift. And if you go into one side, right side here, you can also extend the bottom leg and tilt a bit to the right or left. It's a pretty strong position for the shoulders itself to be able to hold it. So by tilting to one side, you can kind of loosen up that strong position. Just listen as you roll between the pelvic ridge and your lower back, left and right of your spine. What's there? And if you find a spot, stay and breathe. And then last but not least, we're going to do the butt cheeks. So this time the balls are longitudinal underneath one side first, and that's the side of the knee you move to the side. So you can nicely kind of roll, in this case on the right. I have the right balls longitudinal under the butt cheeks, and carefully move my knee to the right as my pelvis drifts to the left. Lay around. It's really on the soft area of the body. I go all the way to the sacrum, but not on top of the sacrum so much, because there's, depending on your body type, there's two bone structures, too bony to have a positive effect of that pressure. But what can be nice and pleasant is also to include some of the sacrotuberal ligaments. And It doesn't always matter where we are on exactly. This is really a lot of a feeling practice. So you go into the flesh, you move, and you listen if there's any spots that need or require your attention to be released. Sometimes we have some surprise findings. So moving off the balls, knees bend, expand the back body one more time, touch the inner knees, lengthen your low back. And take full breaths into the back body. We have the option again to rest right hand on the belly, left hand on the heart. Just settle the visceral, settle the expectations. In the cycle of movement, come into that place of rest and clarity before you extend one and the other leg. If you need something underneath your knees, please adjust. Thanks so much for practicing, for participating, and listening. Namaste.